Hello and welcome back everyone to the Edain Mod above Middle-earth to the Rise of the Witch King with the final faction overview, the final third of the Dwarven sub-factions, Ered Luin, as we fight on the River Kelduin. The river running. The isle which Esgaroth lies. I guess it's not really an island, it's just Esgaroth. Oh well, whatever. Let's get straight into it. So for those that haven't seen either of my other two dwarf videos, we have three factions to choose from. We've already played with Erebor, the more aggressive of the three factions. We've played with the Iron Hills, the more defensive of the factions. Then we also have the Ered Luin dwarven faction, and they are quite unique. Because obviously aggression, offensive and defensive capabilities themselves work normally well in tandem for some factions. The dwarves kind of have a focus on one of these three mechanics, but instead of that, for the dwarves of Ered Luin, they've been through a lot of changes. I must admit, from the first time they were released to what they are now, they have been through many very diverse changes that have made them much better overall. Originally, they were very similar to the Iron Hills in the fact that they were a more defensive faction, but relied more upon the use of their heroes, because you have the Company of Thorin. You may think, oh, there's only 4 dwarves here, and Bilbo, but you do get the rest of them. But you have to have all 4 dwarves to get the rest of the dwarves. Let me take it back if I can. Good old Bilbo Baggins. He says, we'll blunt the knives. Yep. Shake the glasses and crack the blades. That's what Bilbo Baggins hates. It's good to listen to it the first time. About 20 times more, because every time both dies, he keeps playing that sound. It does get annoying. So Botha's first ability is his Hurl Pickaxe. As you can imagine, you hurl your pickaxe. Do a pretty good amount of damage, but after it's used, it is unavailable to be used again. What that means is you have to, it's laying on the battlefield where it is thrown, and you have to pick it up again to use it. And if you don't pick up in within 60 seconds, then it'll instantly go back to your hands. It is a unique effect. As I said, the Ered Luin are very unique because they have they focus on strategy, because obviously the dwarves of the Ered Luin are mainly traders, because they often aren't involved in the wars of the Ring, because they're all the way off into the west with Linden, which again is technically another faction that doesn't really fight in any major wars during the War of the Ring, or even during the time of Thorin's company. But we do know that this is basically taken from the movie's perspective, that Thorin has gone to the Blue Mountains to call for aid in reclaiming his lost home of Erebor. But he's also built a home for all the dwarves that had come from Erebor. And these are basically some of the prospectors, old warriors and traders from the Blue Mountains, and all come together to aid Thorin in his quest. So instead of having an aggressive attack or a defensive attack, instead of having a defensive or an aggressive ability, like the others do, our Guardians have a Dwarven Sprint. The Guardians move 50% faster for 30 seconds. When this was first released, it was a passive ability that would give the Dwarves 20% movement speed if there was at least 40 Guardians in the same location. Oh, damn it. The Wargs moved up. I was not expecting the Wargs to move up so quickly. Got some more archers. So our archers are pretty much the opposite of the archers of the Iron Hills. With the Iron Hills focus on just digging in deep, and where Erebor focuses on dealing against heavy armor, the Dwarven archers focus upon keeping far away from the enemy battle lines, and can increase their range at a small decrease in damage. But they already have a very good basic damage rate, so they don't really need that much more. But having an extra bit more is good every now and again. Sometimes the range is better, but I personally never use this ability because it does feel a bit it doesn't feel right for the faction, in my opinion. It does not feel quite right. Let's get the travel camp, because we are going to need that mithril mail. After we've got the dwarven tools, we're going to get the elite equipment. Let's get a unit of phalanx, because I imagine they'll soon be bringing out some trolls. I don't want to have to deal with them unprepared. I will take the dock, because I technically haven't shown the dock in any other faction. But the Edain Mod actually kind of makes the ships a bit more unique. Every faction, at least I know all the good factions, I don't know about the evil factions, have unique ships. Obviously there's the transport ship, the military ship, and the bombardment ship. But they've been relocated in names, different designs, and you also have, instead of the storm ship, you have the Yachman, very swift and nimble ship from Dale, strong at speed and versus ships. And then we have our phalanx, which the phalanx of Erebor were able to transition into a more aggressive playstyle against things such like infantry. The Iron Hills pikemen were more valued, again, in just sitting still and getting massive attack and armor boosts. Our pikemen, whenever enemy cavalry or monsters crash into the phalanx, they are slow by 50% for 30 seconds. So the thing about the dwarves of the Ered Luin is they move fast. They are very fast and can maneuver very well. And anything that runs into them is going to be very slowed and can be outmaneuvered. So, again, like I said, it's all about strategy with the Dwarves of Ered Luin. I must admit, the extra speed on the Guardians is really big. That speed boost is just what you need, because the special unit, the special weapon project of the Dwarves of Ered Luin are the sharpened axes. Allows guys to purchase sharpened axes that triples the flanking damage bonus when hitting enemy units from behind. I bet half the people watching this don't even know what the flanking bonus is. Well, it was implemented in Battlefield 2 Vanilla. Whenever a unit is facing the whenever a unit is attacking an enemy unit from behind, which basically means the main unit is moving in another direction to where you're facing, they will do a golden shimmery glow, and that is basically saying, okay, this is now doing more damage. Some people probably won't even have known that until then, because to be fair, I'm not gonna deny that I didn't really know about it until I read the stuff on the Edain's Ered Luin. But for those of you that are extremely skilled at using the flanking mechanic, you'll find it a very, very valuable ally. Let's go straight for the Lone Tower. Yes, the Lone Tower, because we want to be holding these two choke points. Keep the enemy out of our lands. So until that time, they can just flank us out of nowhere, and I don't want to have to deal with that. That is something I do not personally want to have to deal with. We should have some ponies prepared to venture out. And we've now got elite equipment, so we can get the unburnt once we have the extra command point. Oh, God. That's right, run right into Pikeman, Cave Troll. Smart boy. Or girl. I'm not using pronouns. Unburnt. And we can now get... Oh, we've got the Forge Workers tools. Wow, I've noticed the dwarves do really well with money. That might just be because of the lumber mills. The fact it doesn't... the income isn't directly linked to the supply routes. Oh, they've got Morgul riders. Oh dear, someone's got Minas Morgul. So yeah, I'm going to go more pikemen. And I'm going to get... Oh, I can't do anything else. Let's get these towers up. We'll talk about the Unburnt when we get them next time. But for right now, I just need the KHAZAD vets. Okay, that was just rude. That was very rude. What? Oh, they took the... They really went to the port. Okay, that's just rude. Build that mineshaft again. What do I want here? I've already got... I always save the Forge Works. Yes, I'll get the Forge Works. I'll attempt to save that building. It is worth saving. But we will focus our defences in the front lines. Move Cogs Ravens into the front. Someone's got Gothmog. I need to be using Bofa because he's really good. That could have been worse. Oh, that meta damage though. Let's get Biffa, Bofa and Bomber. Oh no, Biffa and Bomber. Oh god, he actually does it in his normal... Bofa calls Bifer and Bomber to the battlefield for a short time. Bomber passively heals nearby allied units and Bifer protects him from enemies. So another body like... what's his name does for Nori. Dory does it for Nori in the Erebor faction. When they're a bit older. Oh, our KHAZAD vets. Oh, the range on those archers is beautiful. They don't even need the extra range. They're that good, they don't need it. Let's not going to focus on the band of carriers. Phalanx and archers. Phalanx and archers are all we need. Oh, that's the map of Sauron. Okay. Let's start getting that Mithril Mail, shall we? Because the thing about it, it wasn't really a path, it was a track. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of this now. We only really need the one set of ponies. I got one more, so I might as well make use of it. And then we will rebuild this as a lumber mill. Because money is good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Completely forgot I built Dale. Lake Town, whichever one it is. Yeah, lumber mill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, we're still getting up the full 100% bonus for having oh yeah, you see those sparkles there earlier? That is when we were attacking them from the flank, and they have trolls. And of course they have trolls. Stop it! You've had plenty. Oh, for a second I thought I saw him in McKill. Nope, here, everyone. Back to the fortress, everyone. Pull back to the fortress. Get the line of defense in here. Is there anything worth hitting? No. Another thing to notice is that for those who are a bit more astute and noticed our units are actually moving a little bit faster than the units from before. Not including our Guardians when they have the extra movement speed boost. Just in general, they have more speed because obviously these are slightly less armoured dwarves. So they will be a little bit faster on the move. And we will get the 4 Settlers tools as well. But we do want to get those heroes up. Not to mention several angry, hungry fishermen. Oh, come on, I want to see that golden glow. Really? Oh, come on. I love that. Oh, that damage is so important. And he's already got his level 7 ability, Chain Quake. This ability trigger both orders some dwarves to undermine the target area. Enemies in the area will be thrown aside. And have reduced speed. So again, a emphasis on disrupting enemy speed. Stay in the base, stay in the base, stay in the base. Go on, both. Prove to everyone your quality. Think furnace with wings. Oh. And now we can just get some extra healing and protection. And Bilbo, when he hits level 10, gets the treasures of the Master Thief. Bilbo, the Master Thief, exposes his treasures. So he literally just spawns 3 piles of treasure. At least it was 3 the last time I played with it. It might have changed. We'll find out. Ponies, you're going to be my vision. Go out and don't die. Okay, need to remember to keep coming back to Lake Town. Keep. Cheap. What it feels like to barely English. Oh, let's get more phalanx. They are dying too quickly. I don't want to invest into the extra 200 for unburnt. I don't want to. I'm happy to invest the extra 100. Actually, should I? No. Let's save that extra 100 as well by going into the Guardians, because they aren't spamming out as much of monsters and cavalry as I thought they would. And you should be coming back. It's not safe that far out. It's not safe, my friend. Conquers, if you must know. Although I fail to see how that is relevant. No, nothing's been cancelled. Oh, do we want to invest into that? Getting the 4 settlers tool, so no. I'm going to call the dwarven tool. Does it make it better? No, it's the same. It's the same upgrade. It's just different name. Let's get the line of defense. We're going to be sitting around here for a long time. Hopefully not too long, because we are going to start getting some men from Lake Town to aid in our quest. And if you look closely on the main building, I know it's hard to tell because, yep, there he is. The Master of Lake Town. Granted, his eyes are a bit bugged out and his teeth are sticking out. But he's got his texts. We've got the militia house. We could get the well, but that's kind of pointless since we're not attacking there. We're not getting attacked from there even. Get some more phalanx. And focus down that troll. Some of the treasures of the Master Thief. Now, this ability against AI is more than just getting money. It is a way to flank them, because enemy AI will always try and claim treasure, even if it's not theirs, even if it's just something that you summoned. So that power that Bilbo has is so valuable. It really is one of the most valuable powers against AI. It disrupts their formation and locks them into a place they don't want to be. Let's keep getting some more phalanx. Give them a little bit of extra range so they're out of the front line. Oh god, my throat's getting a bit phlegmy. Don't worry, I'm not dying yet. Oh, that hit. Bofur is one of my favourite dwarven heroes. He's just that good. Balin, at your service. And he can summon Dori, Nori and Ori at level 5. For those of you that wanted to know what he could do. Look at that. Bofur is tanking the attack of a troll fully armoured. And because he's standing right next to it, he can do it again and again and again. But you have to micromanage that a little bit. Biffa Bofur and Bomber back out here. Yeah, it is. What makes Ered Luin a less I'm trying to think, but I keep hearing that music. I'm like, have to be quiet for a bit. The reason Erebor, the Iron Hills, are more chosen over the other two factions is because, well, out of before instead of Ered Luin, because Ered Luin is the more hard to play faction. Not saying they're like really hard to play, but in general, just talking out of experience, playing as a faction that doesn't require you to micromanage all your units more uniquely, or all your heroes more uniquely, makes for a more streamlined gaming experience, or playing experience even. And Ered Luin is definitely the opposite of the streamlined experience, because you have to make sure that all your heroes are intact, they're fighting, they're strong, because if you lose one, it is actually a big reduction in your power, because characters like Botha that can just interrupt enemy forces, slow them down, heal your units. Then there's characters like Balin that can give that is a hero buffer, not a hero killer, just a hero buffer. Get some more of those workers out of it here, because they're valuable. We're getting Mithril Mail. I keep calling it Mithril Mail, it's just Dwarven Mail. If you must know. Now, I would be building battle wagons if we weren't fighting Mordor that just likes to spam out all of its monsters and pikemen. So it's kind of pointless to bother. For the dwarves, the Unburnt, their special power is to charge. They gain damage and speed and knock enemies to the ground. So again, all about gaining speed. And it's the normal ability that the what's the names get? The original Guardians got, but a very, very strong version of it. To have the extra speed and damage is big. Yeah, we're gonna have to go back to base and start healing at the hearth. Actually, no, build the hearth in the back. Here we can actually use as a more valuable building. Oh, who is it? It's a Nazgul. Which Nazgul is Kamul? Kill Kamul. He doesn't get to live. Build a battle tower here. So Balin's first power, an allied dwarven hero from Ered Luin, is protected by a rune shield that grants the hero armor and speed as long as the rune is in effect. Attacks against protected heroes weaken and destroy the rune shield. Then his second power is a passive, Generosity of the Veteran. Nearby allied heroes are inspired by Balin's courage, making them inflict more damage and gain experience for 10 seconds as long as Balin is in the battle. Then he can summon Dorian, Ori, and Ori. Balin summons the 3 dwarves to protect an allied hero of the Ered Luin for a short time. Left click on either Thorin, Botha, Dwalin, Bilbo, Keely, or Feely. And speaking of, I think it's time to get the brother of our esteemed dwarf friend, as we talk about his last ability, Heroic Blow. Balin inflicts heavy damage on an enemy nearby, enemies flee, and nearby allied heroes gain twice the effect of Generosity of the Veteran. So basically, Balin is probably one of the strongest hero buffers in the game. I'd say Galadriel comes close of her gifts, but Balin is the original. Balin is the original. And again, another reason why the Dwarven heroes have such a big emphasis on them. Because again, as I said, you get 14, technically, because Bilbo. And then you get an extra 1 from Lake Town if you ever build it. You can recruit Bard, the Dragon Slayer. We shall wait. Do we have any Guardians alive? Yeah, that's a unit of Guardians right there. Or we can make Forged Blades, eh? What's that? It's a troll, and it's going to die. Thank God for that. They increase the defenses on Lake Town, and I'm very thankful for that, because it does... You'll be surprised how many times I've built a Lake Town or a Dale, and it's just been destroyed by a random troll. And it's currently getting shot at, I think. Oh no, that's the Nazgul Inspire fear. Oh. Ted's idea of a joke. I must say, it is in very poor taste. Oh, I'm remembering the quotes now. Mine. Let's increase our command points again before we actually hit the cap. Let's summon Kark's Ravens to protect this one particular building. Yeah, those are archers shooting out at Lake Town. That's why it's not healing. We kind of want to kill them off. Dwalin at your service. He can switch between his fearsome axes, Grasper and Keeper, also known as Uklat and Umraz. Or he could wield his hammer, which, as you noticed, it does change one of his powers, his Earth Hammer ability, or Wrath of the Dwarves. Let's start with his hammer mode. Powerful blow. When Mighty Strike, Balin blows his enemies out of the way. So, basically, it's Glowin's ability, level 1 ability. That strikes everything out of the way. But a little bit weaker, I think. I think with Grasper and Keeper, it does change something else, or at least it used to. Then he gets Oin and Glowin. For a short time, Dwalin calls the brothers Oin and Glowin to his side. They follow Dwalin and attack all nearby enemies. So they're another summon similar to Biffa and Bomber. But I must admit, Biffa and Bomber are more valuable because obviously Bomber is a healing fountain. And yeah, healing is really good. This big standalone tower. We are gonna get some battle wagons. Why not? Get a battle wagon and get the equipment for it. And I will try to micromanage it to the best of my abilities. What is that glow? Is that the glow coming from the ravens? And just kind of right on top of the master. No, it's not even on top of the master. It's just there. That's definitely a leadership aura. Don't know who it's for. Get those upgrades. Oh, we only have one unit of guardians left. Okay. Oh, hey up, Morgul Riders. Time to die. Oh, look at the Iron Hills dwarves in their full armor. I must admit, Erebor is beautiful. The Iron Hills are even more beautiful because they take you back to the designs of what's the words? It takes you back to the Hobbit movies, but in my heart, Ered Luin will always be my favourite. Also because they have archers on their battle wagons, and let's just say the archers of battle wagons that include archers were OP in vanilla. They're still OP now. With Erebor, I remember we had the phalanx, and we have had shield, and there were shield bearers for the dwarves of the Iron Hills. Oh, Balin, who are you fighting? Long live the king! Oh yeah, and Dorinor Ori can't be used on Balin. It has to be on someone else. That's why it says all the names other than Balin. Or, what's his name? Bard. Or any custom created heroes you ever decide to make. It won't work on them either. Let's put all the runes. There's one building you can actually select all to get all the runes on. I can't remember which one it is. I'm fairly certain there should be a building. No? Okay. Oh no, I didn't pay attention to the... Yeah. See, there's a limit to the amount of micromanaging I can do. And unfortunately, when everything dies... Whenever anything dies... Well, whenever something is very easily killable against pikemen, it's so hard to micromanage. It really is. It's just so hard. Let's walk back a bit. It's time. I understand. No, you don't understand. You're dwarves. You're used to being on the road. Not staying in one place, not belonging anywhere. So it was a harsh quote, but a necessary quote. It had to be said. Oh, beautiful. That is a massive radius, I just realised. That is a massive radius. Let's get Grasper and Keeper out here. AoE for days. Activate. That's a Nazgul. I can't see any of my other heroes. Oh, that was beautiful. Didn't really see it, but it was beautiful. Look at that. Ori, Nori, Dori, Thorin. Let's get all 13 dwarves. Yes! All 13 of the company. Feely, Keely, Oin, Glowin, Dwalin, Barlin, Biffa, Bofa, Bomber, Dori, Nori, Ori, and then Thorin, Oaken Shield. Feely and Keely are the only two summoned dwarven heroes that actually stick around. Oin and Glowin stay around the least. No, Biffa and Bomber stay around the least. Oin and Glowin stay around a relatively increased length of time. I think Owen's attack, because it's less than Glowin. Glowin is a more DPS on single targets, and Oin is a more AoE attacker. Then with obviously Dori, Nori, and Ori are just a complete defensive package. I think Ori uses his little slingshot that he used during the time against the trolls and the whatever their name was, the wargs. Yeah, we're just gonna throw a nice little defensive tower to protect this land for now. I'll eventually demolish this and reposition it somewhere else, but for now it serves its purpose, being in the way. And eventually we'll put some Men of Lake Town in there as well, just to act as an extra bastion of defense. I love this citadel. I've used it in all. I've now used it in all 3 of the dwarven videos, and it is beautiful. It's time we start pushing back. Nope. And somehow they got past my fortress, all my buildings, and just went straight for my base. Of course they did. But they won't get far, mind you. They go there in a wasted attempt of vainglory. They will die as they always do. That seems fair. Evisceration, incineration. Oh yeah, have the flesh off your bones in the blink of an eye. There's my books, my armchair. That's my home. That's the thing. You don't have a home. It was taken from you. But I'll help you take it back if I can. Such a kind-hearted soul, Bilbo Baggins. Bilbo Baggins. I'm just making movie references now. Ignore me. all of Thorin's company. Oh, it's beautiful. I've never had Thorin's company out for this long, so repeatedly. Anyway, let's talk about Thorin. First ability, Keely and Feely. Thorin permanently summons his nephews Keely and Feely, which I'll go over eventually as well. To fight for his side. The dwarves will be summoned at the same level as Thorin. So if they ever die, they just get resummoned with Thorin. The mountain armed for war. Why does the king of the mountain fence himself in like a robber in his hold? Okay, I'm getting the feels now. Anyway, next ability, King in Exile. Friendly units in Thorin near Thorin gain resources from falling enemies and cannot be knocked back. Activate this ability to gain to give them for 30 seconds 25% extra speed. So yeah, very speedy. Is our Thorin Oaken Shield. Okay, Feely, let's talk about you before you die. Thorin's clan. Thorin, Keely, and allied archers gain armor if Feely is nearby. I imagine that's the same for Keely. Yep, Thorin, Feely, and allied archers deal extra damage if Keely is nearby. So you do have the buffs of Feely and Keely to negate the debuff given from the extra range. If you do bother with the extra range. Oh, men of Lake Town are going to get touched inappropriately. Let's get those fire arrows and the sharpened axes. Not the sharpened axes, siege plans. So Feely's next ability is his knife throw. Throws a knife, deals small damage, and slows enemies for 25 seconds. Keely at level 2 can switch between his sword and his bow. We'll put him on sword for now, so he's actually contributing to the fight and gains experience faster. No to you. No, nothing's been cancelled. Over the hill or across the water. Good morning. Even though it's not good morning here, it's good afternoon. Then Feely has Mark. Feely marks an enemy hero which causes minor damage. For 30 seconds, the damage of Keely's headshot ability is doubled against the marked hero. And this is Keely's headshot ability. He draws an arrow and takes a moment to focus. Having targeted this enemy, he takes his shot, causing massive damage to heroes. So, if you need an execution effect, you've got Feely and Keely to, again, you have to micromanage it, but it can work wonders. Believe it. You can do wonders with that ability. Now, how are we going to deal with the enemy fortress? Because we don't have a mighty catapult like the dwarves of Ered Luin had. And we currently don't have any catapults. Well, we can start making catapults. No point in building a lumber mill because my labourers will go back to all the way through heaven and earth to try and find any wood. I need to destroy this Kirifungal barracks because it's getting annoying. And then finally, last ability of both Feely and Keely is the Travelling Fair. Keely, Feely, and Thorin are healed for 1,000 hit points. I don't think it has a range, but it's basically saying, yeah, you can heal for a pretty big margin if you want to. If you need to. And then finally we have Bard the Bowman. Oh, Keely's about to die. I keep getting the two brothers mixed up. It's so hilarious. I keep messing it up. Let's get Gandalf. Because what's the company without Gandalf, eh? Well, we're going to wait. We're going to wait until we have everyone together. Firstly, we have Bard's Thrush. So similar to Brand's Thrush, except you get it at level 1 instead of level 5. Goes into the air, soars around. It can be killed. No, it doesn't have a health bar. It can't be killed. It just flies around. And you may think, okay, so he's got one ability like Brand. He's going to have another ability like Brand. Yes, he does have a toggle weapon, but it's the only time someone toggles between bows. That's right. You can toggle between a short bow and a long bow. You start with your long bow, I think. His long bow has great range, but slower firing speed. And his short bow, obviously, short range, but faster firing speed. If he's about to die again, he's always at the front. Then he has Girion's heir. Bard is the heir of Girion and inspires nearby men with his heroism. Nearby men of Lake Town gain double experience and get increased damage in a medium range. Can be toggled to have longer range at the cost of experience gain. Which, half the time isn't as valuable as you'd think. I think the other unit of Lake Town bowmen we made died. We'll make the spearman and the swordsman. For those that don't actually know where these images come from, these are the actual fully painted miniatures from the Lord of the Rings strategy battle game. Yeah, they took a lot of inspiration from the strategy battle game for the dwarves, and I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I must admit. I must admit, it's a little guilty pleasure of mine that I get enjoyment out of seeing things out of a game I used to play all the time in my childhood. You're not Men of Dale, you're Men of Lake Town, but sure. You get the Monster Slayer formation. This unit cannot be knocked back or trampled, but loses armor. So basically, if you're ever against hordes of trolls, then yeah, perfect thing to deal with them. Oh wait, no, Bard starts with his short bow. That's right. He starts with his short bow, but he can change to his long bow. We get two mine workers. I didn't really show them off last time. we'll get the Ered Luin catapults, which I mentioned in the last video, how the Iron Hills catapult is 3-shot. The Erebor catapult is 2-shot. The Ered Luin catapult, unfortunately, is only a 1-shot. So it is a bit more disappointing than the others. But I think it's finally time to show off the basic Dwarven outpost. Because we haven't shown it off yet. We've had 3 videos now to show off this outpost. That isn't, that's just our basic outpost, but we haven't yet. So let's show it off. So we have the 3 basic outpost points, but look at this. 3 more points for line of defense. That feels a bit strong, don't you think? Agreed, I think it's too strong. But who cares? You could just put 6 towers on an outpost and just have it as a pretty much denying your opponent the ability to steal it. Which I do like. I like it a lot. Having the ability to steal something from your opponent is so Ered Luin. Surprisingly. Are these 600? Yeah, they are. Oh. I'm going to save it for Earthquake because we do want Earthquake to end this up. End this out. Oh, there's another troll. I just see a troll and orcs. So yeah, as I said, 1 shot. It's a 1-trick pony. I'm going to make sure our 2 miners are kept out of the front line for a while. I should have a unit of Dale's swordsmen somewhere. Right there. They have a passive ability, Hold at Bay. The attacks of Lake Town swordsmen slow enemy infantry by 50%. Cavalry monsters trampling them will be slowed twice as much. So again, massive emphasis on slowing enemy units, speeding up your own units. Before this patch, there were actually about half of those abilities didn't even exist. But I feel like people like me that have noticed that Ered Luin is a unique faction where it focuses on its speed debuffs and buffs. I do like it a lot. I do like it a lot. I must admit it is very unique and I do enjoy it. Not everyone will play as the Ered Luin when given the faction of the dwarves. They would rather play as Erebor to play with the old King Dane, or they would use the or they would rather have the Iron Hills and play out the battle at Battle of the 5 Armies with the younger King Dane. But I like Ered Luin. I must say, Ered Luin are my favourite faction of the 3 dwarven factions. I know I kind of turn back and forth on which faction I like the most. Erebor, I must admit, playing defensively is actually really fun and really enjoyable and worthwhile. But Iron Hills does it just a little bit better, and it has units from the unit designs from the films and from the Lord of the Rings game from Games Workshop. Just throw it down an Earthquake because I can. Goodbye towers, and now it's time to use Chain Quake. I didn't even get to show off the miners. I feel sad. That's the word. I feel sad. Fine craftsmanship. Careful, you're scuffing her. I want to show off these miners one more time before I finish up. Fine craftsmanship. Run away. No, nothing's been cancelled. We're gonna have these two do the finishing job. And that is the faction of Ered Luin. Admittedly, I thought I was going to be stuck in here for a lot longer. But no, just starting off defensively seems to be the way to play in Edain, which I do like. I must admit, I have had a few troubles getting used to this new patch because there are some very big differences. But now I've actually played it out fully, I must say, I'm definitely more invested in this new version of Edain. However, I must say, there's one mod that has come out that has taken my attention more than Edain, and that is a big thing. Because I've been playing Edain for a good few years now. Wait, what? But I got destroyed in... Okay, these mine workers are stronger than I thought they would be. I'm actually a bit afraid. Because those things did damage. Ooh. I'm guessing the Kirifungal barracks is up here. So I'm just going to throw down my fortress. Throw out a lone tower. Oh, this takes me back to BFME 2. Make those triple catapults. No, let's destroy the enemy base first. There it is. There's another Kirifungal barracks. Yeah. I must say, with the dwarves, playing defensively is far from an understatement. You cannot. I must say, I'm saying this because it's true. You cannot leave your base or the perimeter around your base for at least the first 10 minutes of the game. Build up your defenses. Build up your strength. Again, this is someone who just plays nothing but versus AI. Against a normal player, Ered Luin are the harass faction because of the fact their guardians move so much faster than any other units. Even the March Wardens of Lothlorien will be put to shame at the speed of the dwarves of Ered Luin. It's very impressive. It is very impressive how they managed to change this faction, which started off as a niche, which then became a mechanic, which has now been fully revised. And I think this is the best version of Ered Luin yet. And they've been through some very strong points. Ring Hero Thorin is really good. Made a little bit weaker, I think, but still really good. So I hope you have all enjoyed our tour through all of the faction overview, all the factions of the Edain mod. I know it's been a couple weeks of me bringing these out bit by bit, but I hope they've all been very enjoyable. And I'll do a few custom maps for the Edain mod. Maybe do a few like big brutal battles. But after that, it will be adios to the Edain mod for a while, because I must say the Age of the Ring mod has taken such a massive leap up, in my opinion, compared to the Edain mod. They have an amazing campaign, amazing mechanics, and they keep bringing out more interesting, unique ways to play the game. And I want to show that to everyone, because yeah, it's really good. Also, powers aren't nerfed down to the ground. But until next time, ta-ta for now.